Person 2. Guess what? Shenanigans ensue. Person 1 hates Person 2. Guess what? Still shenanigans ensue. Person 1 fake dates Person 2. Guess what? You guessed it. Shenanigans ensue. Co-host 1 reports to co-host 2. The name of the show? Shenanigans ensue. Yeah. Hello, I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Jane, and welcome to Shenanigans Ensue.
A podcast where I may be small in stature, but I'm tall in intellect. I mean, yeah, in real life,
Same.
Accurate. Also, that little girl is the only one who knew the assignment.
Yeah.
You get it. All right.
Each episode, we'll watch a rom-com and discuss its merits as a member of the rom-com genre.
We'll cover well-worn classics, hidden gems, and everything in between.
We'll give you our unsolicited opinion on every trope, caper, and flim-flam the film used, or maybe abused.
And of course, the shenanigans!
Yay!
Happy New Year, everyone!
Yes! 2024 means more shenanigans.
And to start off those shenanigans, we have two of our own, which is that we are, number one, sneaking in an additional holiday movie.
Of course.
And number two, this movie isn't really a rom-com.
And that movie is, hold for specific punctuation, Best Christmas Ever!
Excellent, excellent. I heard the punctuation.
Thank you.
You may have heard of this one, or if you didn't, this, ladies and gentlemen and others, is Brandy's comeback movie.
What a surprise to see her in a trailer.
I know. This is why we decided we were going to break the rom-com rule slightly and do a Christmas holiday situation, because you gotta make space for Brandy.
Of course. There's always space for Brandy.
If Cinderella wants to make a new movie, we're gonna watch it.
Oh, we should do that one.
I know. Every time I think of Brandy, I just see her in that Cinderella dress. Like, truly. Like, that's who she is in my mind's eye.
We should totally do that one.
It's on the list.
Okay, it's on the list.
But we made space for her because Queen.
Yes. And I don't really know what to say to the lead-in of this movie. It was a movie.
It was... That's so rude and so accurate.
Oh no.
That is a spicy Jane comment. Are you kidding? I love that. That shit is so funny. Yes, it was a movie.
I guess.
Okay, just so people, when I was getting the film queued up, I said to Jane, oh my gosh, Jane, this isn't just a tight 90. This is a tight 80. And when I tell you that that extremely tight cut was truly necessary for anyone to even finish, that's probably a good description of the film.
It was something. I think to go back, to absolve my sass, would be to say that things are rough, just collectively, and we need to find little islands of happiness where we can. And if this movie brought you some comfort, some joy, some laughter, please don't listen to this episode.
And listen, not to be just a shady McShady shade, I did have moments of joy in this film.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
This movie is filled with Christmas shenanigans. It's filled with little bits of fun. Okay, let's be honest. We're watching this movie because we want Brandy to sing, and she sings twice.
Yes.
So we get what we came for.
There's a really good, sincere apology.
Oh,
this movie
very
definitely
good.
passed the Bechdel test. The decorations are stunning.
This set is incredible.
There is a lot to enjoy about this movie, but I think we were just a bit let down and confused, ultimately.
Yeah. I did a bunch of Google searching because this movie very specifically dates itself, and we'll get into that in the shenanigans. But I couldn't find information about when they actually filmed it, and I have a sneaking suspicion that they filmed it probably 2021, and it took this long to figure out an edit that would work. I do think that they struggled to figure this one out, and the reason why I mentioned that the youngest daughter in this film is the only one who understood the assignment is because we've talked about this in other ones. The reason why A Cinderella Story Christmas Wish is so good, even though it's horrendously written, it works because every single actor bought in and was in it to win it. And I feel like here we see the results of an equally not great script where the actors weren't totally bought in, and that wounds the movie, unfortunately.
It requires a certain amount of injection of energy.
Yes.
To be successful.
Yes.
You need to lean all the way in to the camp and the zany. And this movie is a good example of what happens when you don't go all the way. Because, let's be real, A Cinderella Story Christmas Wish is bonkers.
It's bonkers.
And doesn't have a very high production value.
No.
But it was so delightful.
I really, really liked it.
It was so good. It's like Christmas threw up everywhere
Yes.
on my screen.
It's the kind of film where you're ashamed to tell people how much you enjoyed it for fear of judgment. But that's what you need in a Christmas vibe.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we've done a lot of preamble. Before we get deep into it, let's give the folks a plot synopsis.
All right, here's that plot synopsis.
I don't sound so enthusiastic about
I'm so... Oh, man, I can't... My voice does what it does.
I've never heard so much shade and just the prospect of giving a synopsis.
This movie was so bad. Okay.
Put more syllables into it, Jazz. More syllables.
It was so bad. Each year, Jackie sends out a beautiful family newsletter for the holidays.
Frustrated and perhaps a bit jealous, Charlotte somewhat sarcastically expresses a wish to turn up at Jackie's house unannounced to see if any of it is true.
Hearing this, Charlotte's son puts the Jennings address into their GPS instead of his aunt's. Shenanigans ensue!
You said I was being spicy. I don't know.
I'm always spicy when I'm not happy about a film. That was a good spicy comment earlier.
All right. As you said, this isn't a rom-com, but there are still some rom-com tropes.
Yes.
And then we are going to deal with a couple of Christmas ones as well.
And we do enjoy the tropes that they injected.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best part about the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, they do try to cover a few really interesting ideas. What do you do with jealousy? What do you do when you think someone's a phony?
Yeah.
How we interact with the forward-facing appearance of people's lives versus the reality of people's lives.
Yeah.
We all hide bits and pieces. So this had all the makings of something beautiful, and then it didn't make it.
Yeah.
I guess we could just pop right into the tropes and start getting people an idea.
Let's do it.
All right. One of my favorite things, delighted right at the top.
Ah.
We have a voiceover opening.
So good.
It was so good.
A voiceover opening with a montage.
It was the newsletter montage.
Yes.
That was so fun. And then speaking of montages, we have so many montages. I loved them. The snooping montage, the fixing the dollhouse montage, the beginning and ending exposition outro montages.
Yes.
Excellent. No notes. Oh, I'm going to add in the breaking the fourth wall and aggressively addressing the audience one time at the beginning and then never again.
That was so weird.
That was awful.
We'll get into it.
And then we've got a grand romantic gesture. We have a dramatic chase. Or maybe subsection dramatic search.
Yeah.
That was fun. We've got a love triangle, sort of?
Ish. Like a
And we've got different worlds, and we sure do. We've also got a fan favorite, whether as a plot device.
A Jane favorite.
I know, I said fan favorite, but we're the fans. I just meant me.
Yeah, we're the fans. No one else.
And we've got meddling children.
And then on the Christmas side, we have all of the decorations. You can't have a Christmas movie without leaning in all the way with the decor.
Oh,
and this
absolutely.
movie brings it. We have the very familiar Countdown to Christmas. We have Father Christmas hinted at as being real. We have a play/concert, an angel, and of course, a Christmas market.
I love a Christmas market.
I love one in film. I love one in real life. Like, just
Yes.
give me a Christmas market.
Quick little fun fact on the Christmas market. Many a rom-com, and especially Hallmark Christmas rom-coms, are filmed in Utah. This one being no exception.
Oh.
Because its landscape makes for a perfect backdrop for these Christmassy images.
Well, there you go.
So if you're like, where can I go to feel Christmassy? Utah, I guess.
Where would you like to start with the tropes?
Well, you can't give me the option because
Yeah, I know.
you know what
Just
I'm
for
going to
the
pick.
sake of... I mean,
In case I change my mind today.
the sake of formality.
Woo, well, in that case, I would formally like to suggest that we do the montages.
Oh, really? That's so surprising.
I know. Very unlike me. Okay. I think that you were calling it the Uncovering Newsletter Claims montage. I
Yeah.
called it the Snooping Around Checklist montage. Charlotte truly doesn't believe anything about these people's lives.
No.
And, like, granted, girl, I get that. Like, this seems like some bullshit. But she has the newsletter in her hand and slowly goes through their lives to figure out which bits are accurate. For example, to figure out whether or not the daughter, who is 10, is the youngest person to ever be accepted to Harvard, Charlotte plays chess against her and gets her ass whooped. So she's like, good enough, check.
I mean, that's not definitive.
It's not definitive.
Come on.
This is a half-ass investigation, lady.
How good is Charlotte at chess? Maybe this kid is a chess prodigy, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, not definitive.
And then, like, she does other things, like going and snooping to figure out whether or not Valentino is actually this judo instructor or whatever.
Mhm.
And that one, I'm like, girl, he was making breakfast that first day, and Matt Cedeño's abs are evidence enough to just say, yeah, he is 100% a judo instructor.
Abs, arms, general vibe.
You didn't need to check in that one. You just say check, yes. It was a really, really fun montage, and her sneaking around was very silly. As far as the character being a real nosy jerk,
Mhm.
that was the most successful part of it because
Yeah.
it is so absurd.
And as much as I enjoyed this montage, I think it was a really good one. I think it also diminished a massive story arc because you easily could have made the entire arc be about Charlotte trying to expose this family. But it is kind of resolved pretty quickly because we have the montage.
That would have been a lot better.
Yeah, the issue I have with this movie, I think, is that there are so many plot points that they're trying to give time to
Yeah.
that you don't actually get enough depth with any one of them. It could have just been Charlotte realizing how dissatisfied she is in her life
Yeah.
and having to reconcile with that. And you could have the whole movie about her coming to terms with her life or reconnecting with her husband. Like, that could have carried you the entire movie.
And it could have been delightful, her slowly realizing
Yes.
her own bitterness and coming around.
Yeah.
Another good option, I think, given the subplot with the children,
Yeah.
is that both the children and the adults are trying to uncover what they believe is lies and deception.
That would also be really good to focus on.
Yeah, you get the A plot of the adult trying to figure out whether or not this family's lives is true. And mostly it is, but there's a clear giant secret that everyone knows we're waiting for. And then you've got the children trying to figure out whether or not Santa is real.
Which is a subplot I really enjoyed.
And like, I think that those two go together.
Absolutely. And so you could have had a whole lot more hijinks if you have the A plot being Charlotte being suspicious throughout the entire movie, trying to expose things. That leads to so many shenanigans.
And it would have been delightful to watch if she's slowly uncovering it, and each time she somehow makes it even better for them in the process.
Mm-hmm. And I think what would have benefited this movie as well would have been the character of the best friend, or at least getting to see Charlotte's sister and having her talk to her sister about her conspiracy theories. Like, I think we needed her to be playing off someone else because she just seems so mean.
I think it was supposed to be Rob,
yeah,
played by Jason Biggs, but unfortunately, because they added in the very unnecessary love triangle, and she's very suspicious that her husband has been secretly having maybe an emotional affair with Jackie.
Yeah.
Because of that, she can't actually talk to him.
No.
They like took that away.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a bit of a tangent. Sticking to the montages.
No, that was basically it. I'm done with the montages. The beginning and the ending are excellent.
I love either a beginning or ending expositional montage.
Same.
It is so delightful.
And this one gave us both.
Yes. I just love it.
When the movie started, and it was not only an exposition montage, but also a Brandy voiceover, I was so delighted. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm here for it. Let's go.
It is so cheesy. I love it when it's like photos or in a newspaper or a magazine or whatever. Like, give me that shit.
And this was both.
Yes. It's so great.
So it starts off strong.
Yeah.
What's your favorite trope?
I'm obviously going to talk about weather as a plot device.
Yes. So while they're staying overnight at the Jennings house that first night that they accidentally arrived there, there is a silent, massive snowstorm.
With no warning.
No.
Comes out of nowhere.
No one got the alerts on their phone that they probably would have gotten in today's world.
That must have been a flash snowstorm, because I think they say it's close to midnight when they arrive at the Jennings home.
Yeah.
And so this is the next morning, and the storm has been so severe that their car is literally buried under a heap of snow.
I think the little kid said, after breakfast, we'll look for the car to really indicate that the car got buried.
Whoops, they can't go to the sisters.
And then the psychotic thing is that instead of actually just trapping them in the house, which would have been a more interesting choice, they throw it all away because A, the town is very good at keeping the streets plowed, and B, their entire house's driveway is heated.
Wild.
And melts the snow for you. I know that exists, but then why do the storm in the first place?
I know, it's so silly.
It's pointless. Don't do the snowstorm then. This is like writing 101. You just threw away the plot device.
Yeah, the poor plot device.
I really was so excited for them to be fully snowed into that house.
Right? That would have been very interesting.
And then they just went shopping.
Yeah. Is there another trope you want to talk about?
Ooh, I love the dramatic chase / search. I can't even say that. Dramatic chase / search.
You got it.
Okay. It was so cute. So basically, the kids are deep in their investigation for the truth behind Santa. And the little boy, Charlotte's son, runs away. Essentially, the younger daughter of the other family says that he's going to run off back home where Santa can actually find him because he's just like lost it with the information he's gathered. They can't find him anywhere. And eventually, Brandy, of course, being a perfect, beautiful, genius scientist, entrepreneur, realizes that he thinks he's a ninja, so he'll be at the sushi restaurant. I thought he was going to be at the dojo.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But being at the sushi restaurant and him eating a bowl of miso was cute.
Oh, that they gave him for free? That was so sweet.
Very sweet. And then they have a little heart-to-heart about Santa. Loved it. Do you have any more tropes?
Well, I'm reluctant to talk about it because I'm going to complain, but I think I do want to mention the non-starter of the love triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Because either don't do it or do it all the way. And by all the way, I don't mean a full-on Jason Biggs's character is cheating. I just mean like properly lean into it. I don't know. I actually really just didn't need it.
It wasn't necessary to the story. It actually hindered the story.
Yeah, and I'm not saying people don't get jealous.
Mhm.
Of course, we humans. But there was absolutely nothing, not even a smidge of chemistry between Jason and Brandy, right?
Yeah, they were clearly just good friends.
There was barely reminiscing. There wasn't even an inside joke.
No.
The closest you get to is them performing together at the Christmas market, and that he calls her by a nickname at the start of the movie.
I think it would have been better for Rob to divulge his own secret newsletter right off the bat.
Yeah.
Instead of Charlotte spinning her wheels over a pretend affair. I think that knowing that he had done this and he's proud of his family should have just been, we see the secret letter in the mail towards the very end and it all comes out at once. It didn't need to be part of the film.
No.
It could have been the reconciliation at the end kind of moment.
Absolutely. Even with Charlotte and Valentino, you could do more with that. There's a whole running bit in Modern Family of Phil having kind of a crush on Gloria.
And it's hilarious.
Yes, he's not going to do anything about it, but it's like very present.
Yeah.
And I think that's my issue with a lot of things in this movie. They sort of start to try to do something.
And they don't commit.
So if you're going to have Charlotte horny for Valentino, like properly do it.
Yeah.
That was hilarious when they introduced the character to Oh Holy Night.
I cried. Oh, holy night. Get out
That
of here.
was so unexpected as a song choice. It was divine. Oh, Holy, are you kidding me? That's my dad's favorite hymn, by the way, and I love it as well. Of
But
the
make it
Christmas-
sexy. Get out of here.
Whose brain did that come from?
I don't know. I love
you.
them.
That was incredible.
God, that was, yeah.
That's my favorite part of the whole movie, I think.
I think so. Right? He asked how she's liking the food or whatever.
The freshly squeezed orange juice.
She says it's the best I ever had.
Now we need more of that.
More, please.
We don't need to see the suggestion of people cheating on their spouses, but like just lean in more is what I'm saying.
Girl, when they added that magic wind in the kitchen.
Oh my word. I loved it so much.
I don't know where the wind came from.
It felt like there was even a mild spotlight on him.
Yes.
So stunning.
They could have added some soft focus.
Yes. I needed more fun like that.
That's what I'm here for.
It was excellent.
Like we've said 100 times, I want to say this is dumb. And with the wind started, I said, this is dumb. That was my favorite laugh out loud moment.
Mm-hmm. Is there another trope you want to talk about before we move on?
No, I feel like I'm ready to go into the good and mostly bad shenanigans.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh God, right off the bat. Breaking the fourth wall?
That was so weird, especially because we don't do it again.
Never again. If that's something you're choosing, that gets peppered throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
Oh, she does the montage and she says straight to the camera, well, I have found some evidence to prove that all of these things are real, but I still have my suspicions. Or something like that.
Yeah.
That's part of the plot now. You established it.
Especially because I'm being lulled by this expositional montage.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like a hard pivot to breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And it never happens ever again.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be Fleabag levels.
It needed to happen at least 3 times if you're going to establish it at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't do it.
I don't have issue with any of the things. It's just that there's ways that it can be executed. I think that's why I'm like referencing so many other things. Anyway.
Yep. Give me a good shenanigans.
Okay, this was fun. The son putting in the wrong address. That starts off the whole sequence of events. Because it's chaos, they're all packing, it's crazy, they're trying to get everyone to leave the house. and the son has overheard his mother saying that she would love to see what's going on with the Jennings.
Dripping with sarcasm, mind you.
Yes, but he thinks he's going to make Mum's Christmas wishes come true.
Mhm.
And so he puts in their address instead of his aunt's, which is really funny to me because, okay, they do bake it in that the aunt has just moved, and Jason Biggs has a really funny line where he's like, I thought your sister moved closer to us.
How do they not have any idea, though? At a certain point, do you know generally where your sister lives? This is insane.
It's so funny. I was like, it's fine. I'll suspend my disbelief for this.
Right?
That no one is even a little bit suspicious at all.
Right after that, when they arrive at the house, the little daughter says, and I quote, "This place is like Wayne Manor." Nuh-uh. Even if she is a gigantic Batman fan, a little kid like that is going to say, this place is like Batman's cave or Batman's manor.
House or whatever.
No one says Wayne Manor.
No,
No one's going to say that.
no.
She's a child.
Not even adults say that.
No, I was like, this is too much.
And then how they end up there and stay, the kids are all like, I need to pee. I need to pee. And her husband is also like, I also need to pee.
Yep.
I was willing to suspend my disbelief for that.
Same.
The shenanigan was worth it.
Where else? Oh my gosh. So yeah, they go into pee. The weather's trapped them.
The moving the furniture thing.
Oh my god, moving the furniture.
Oh my
Another
goodness.
excellent shenanigan.
That was so funny.
Well done. So they decide to establish in this film that there was a loud thumping in the middle of the night, and the kids ask at breakfast what the noise was. And Brandy, smooth without giving anything away, is like, oh, Valentino and I were moving furniture last night. That's a thing that grown-ups do sometimes late at night.
And the daughter, without missing a beat, is like,
Throws her parents under the bus.
Mommy, you and Daddy don't move furniture like that.
Oh my gosh. And you can just leave it there.
Yeah.
But instead, Charlotte says, well, sometimes we move furniture at night, but we just don't move furniture so loudly. We do it very quietly. And that doesn't say anything about us as people. Cannot stop.
She just continues digging a hole.
Girl, stop.
Oh, another shenanigan that was quite fun was what I'm terming the horny Christmas tree shopping.
I have that on my list. God, it was so awkward. The cuts.
The cut.
Oh no.
Oh.
I for one am not necessarily turned on by standing out in the cold looking for an appropriately jolly tree.
No.
But somehow they managed to not only make it hot, they also add in a line about, oh, these protruding fluffy branches.
Oh, yes.
The thick trunk. What?
These thick stumps.
They made it too sexy.
Was an achievement, for sure.
And then Brandy and Valentino start making out because I'm sure that they'll just do it anywhere.
Mhm.
And then Charlotte feels self-conscious and starts trying to make out with Rob. And
Yeah.
it was...
He
Ooh.
was so surprised, confused, but also not opposed. I mean, he was getting into it.
He was very sweet.
Yeah.
He did a very good job with this character.
Oh, he did. It was just, there was a lot happening in that kiss. And that in of itself was quite funny to watch. But then cut to all three kids staring at their sets of parents who've just
Oh,
been
God.
like making out in front of everyone doing Christmas tree shopping.
Well, it's okay. They'll just need copious amounts of therapy later on in life. I also love the shenanigan that was introduced very shortly after this, which is that every single time a television is shown in the background of a scene, you're seeing another Christmas movie on it. And I'm 90% certain, after doing a little bit of research on the producer's name, which I recognized, that it's his films. And he does exclusively Christmas movies.
I love that for him.
I love that too. Honestly, what a fabulous life.
Oh, can you imagine?
His last name was, I think it's Townsend. Slay, dude. Live your best life. He was involved in Falling for Christmas, which is where I realized because the scene with the snow globe played in the background. And I went, oh, someone here was involved with that film.
Good catch.
Yeah. Associations in my brain. I can't turn them off even when I'm trying to watch a movie.
Another shenanigan is the uncovering Santa plot, the fallacy of Santa Claus. This was cute. It was so stupid, but it was cute. Those child actors did a pretty good job, I thought.
Yeah, I've aggressively vacillated between loving and hating the daughter who's in Harvard.
Oh yeah. But I think that's how it's supposed to be.
But still, she was really in it to win it.
Yeah.
She's both entirely charming, but also a kid who's way too smart and knows it.
Yeah.
So she's got an ego.
Mhm.
And so it was good.
Yeah, and we know kids like that.
Absolutely.
Their IQ is through the roof, but their EQ perhaps needs some work. Which is also my, like, is it advisable for this 10-year-old to be going to college? 'Cause
Never.
you're missing out on a lot of fundamental growth.
It is a proven statistical fact that doing that to kids is actually the wrong thing to do.
Because it stunts their growth.
It does. It stunts them with the EQ, like you were saying, and that's actually significantly more important to success in life than just IQ alone.
You miss out on all these experiences.
When that newsletter was going and it was the braggadocious stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I was on Charlotte's team like, nah, none of this is real. Girl, you said splendiferous? Get out of here.
It's a good word, to be fair.
You let your kid go to Harvard? No, get out of here.
Yeah, no, not a good move.
You live there and you take her to classes, or don't do that. No. And I don't trust this family either.
Because you won't have friends.
It's also a safety issue.
Yeah, that too. Like, how do you make friends?
That's the whole statistic thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that dramatic. It only has to be like
couple
skipping
years.
3 years,
Yeah.
and those kids don't have friends.
Age is so significant when you are younger.
Think about being a 16-year-old. Did you want to talk to 13-year-olds?
No, but this is what I'm talking about. When you are an adult, 5, 10, 15, sometimes even years, isn't that big of a deal in terms of making friends. But when you're in school,
Every year counts.
it counts so much.
Yeah, they should not have sent her to Harvard. That was
Yeah.
dumb.
Anyway, back to the Santa plot. What a fun romp. What a keeper. But I'm also like, do these kids not have access to the internet? Because that's something that's very easily searchable.
Fun fact.
Mm.
If you Google, is Santa real?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a definitive answer. You see that St. Nicholas is real.
I'm doing it right now.
And if you Siri won't give you the no, so that kids can't get Santa spoiled for them.
Aw, that's sweet.
Isn't it? So there is a little bit of coverage so that kids don't get things totally
Yeah.
destroyed.
No, I mean, even on this, where it seemed to be more angled at helping parents deal with Santa, there was also the question prompt of like, is Santa real? Is it my parents? And it's not like a definitive yes or no.
Right.
Like you said, it's kind of like, we are all Santa. There's many different blah, blah, blah.
And it has gotten worse, though, because I remember that you could get away my age to about 12. 12 was when kids really stopped believing. Some a little bit before that, depending. And according to 2018, because of how much more online kids are, the average is 8 now.
8?
Isn't that disappointing?
Oh, that makes me so sad.
It's changed.
I suppose it makes sense, but wow, 8 is so young.
Yeah, that's too young. That makes me a bit bummed out.
Hmm.
To put a little fun button, though, on the Santa Claus debacle with the children,
Yes, please.
the fact that they added a real magic Santa that disappears in a puff of pixie
Oh,
dust at the end of the
My
film
goodness.
was truly
That was so funny.
the delight that I needed
Yes.
at the end of everything.
Because it was so unexpected.
I was so grateful for real Santa showing up.
Yeah, because we're building the whole time towards, like, oh, the magic is through the belief and through parents really doing their best for their kids. But no, we got a real magic Santa.
A gentleman literally shows up, offers to help unhook the sleigh.
Delightful.
Says he knows a lot about sleighs, and then disappears in a puff of smoke.
Yes.
Ooh.
Poof. Oh, and he knew her name as well.
Right. That's what turns her around. She's
Yeah.
like, wait, how did I... He's gone.
It's magic.
Girl, can we talk about this balloon?
Girl.
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 This balloon was so dumb. Okay, number one, balloons are not pilotable. They fly where they fly, okay? Your dinky little fan on the back of that thing is not gonna work against actual air currents. Number two, it's solar powered?
Girl.
How?
That was my biggest thing because I don't know much about engineering or mechanics or anything like that.
That's not possible.
But I know about the sun, and there is no sun in the northern hemisphere that time of year. You are not getting enough charge to power this massive ass thing.
It's not even that. You could charge it for 3 days to be able to do this short flight or something. It's the fact that, like, how are you converting solar power into heat in any real way? And then on top of that, she, like, unveils the command center of the balloon to pilot it and blah, blah, blah. When I tell you that this was a Star Trek level technobabble machine, like, I love a Star Trek technobabble. The fact that we're just clicking buttons and turning them on and off, that some of them are blinking and all of this is bullshit, love it. Yum, 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 yum. But I don't know, it didn't really have a place in this film because before that we weren't doing weird magic.
Yeah.
They didn't live in the universe of this film.
And I think especially because Charlotte is an inventor, right? Brandy's character is also supposed to be in STEM somehow. It's kind of baked in that it's lending itself more to reality.
Yep. We didn't have enough whimsy leading up to this point for this to make any sense.
That's also true. We needed more whimsy.
More whimsy, please. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Also, you remember with A Cinderella Story, Christmas Wish.
The flying? Yeah, I remember flying.
That's not actually what I was talking about, but yes, the flying.
Oh, sorry.
Amazing. When we were talking about my anxiety for the fact that Bruno, the adorable dog, may be dead.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And you said, no, absolutely not.
And I said something like, this film does not have the emotional backbone to support a death.
You said, like, it doesn't have the capacity to deal with death.
Yeah.
I remember it because capacity is such a good word. This movie does not have the capacity to be dealing with a dead kid who's been dead for a year and presumably very sick leading up to his death. Because they mentioned something about a hospital, so it doesn't seem like it was a freak accident.
Right. It was a mistake.
I'm not saying it's a bad plot point. Like, it's a very interesting storyline.
Just not for this film, the way you've built it.
And then especially where the solar hot air balloon was an invention that the son really wanted to do, making this dream of his come true.
Mm-hmm.
But we cutting from Charlotte dealing with magical Santa straight to the parents. Like, Brandy looks up to the sky and she kisses and like points up to the sky, and we cut to the dad in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also like kissing and pointing up to the sky, which is very sweet. It's very touching. But the whiplash, it's just too much.
Right. The corniness of the Santa right before that was not great.
Right?
Yeah.
There's not even a buffer scene in between. It doesn't then have the emotional impact that you want.
Nope. I quickly want to talk about the dollhouse.
Oh.
So again, Charlotte is snooping. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
She goes upstairs, finds the dollhouse. It was meant to be a surprise present to replace a dollhouse that previously belonged to Valentino's late mother that had been lost in a fire. First off, you spoiled the Christmas thing. Stop snooping. Learn your lesson. Second off, why is the dollhouse so flimsy? Next, why are we playing a Spanish cover of Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps? I'm crying. This telenovela drama on this song was way too damn much. And then we have an entire montage of her fixing her mistake after she breaks the damn house. And the montage ends with a magical chimney on that dollhouse coming to life with actual
emitting smoke.
You can't have magical realism. Like, you haven't set us up for it properly.
I was so distraught when Charlotte has been caught snooping and she gets up off the floor leaning on the thing that's supporting this dollhouse. Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Why?
It does lead us to the really lovely and generous and authentic apology.
That was a beautiful scene between these two women. It was so sincere. She owned up completely. She didn't make any excuses. She said immediately, we packed, we getting out of your hair. Again, I'm so, so sorry.
And then when Brandy says, why would you leave? You're leaving? She again doubles down with the apology saying, yes, why would you want me to stay? I did something unforgivable.
Her owning it was really good.
And this was another little hint at what's actually going on with their family. Brandy says, this isn't unforgivable. We didn't lose anybody.
Yeah.
She's in a different context of what unforgivable is. It was basically the best scene in the film.
Yeah. And this is why, again, this movie needed to pick a lane. Because if the plot is centered around this tragedy that's happened to Brandy's family, that's really a pivotal moment. But because all of this other stuff is happening, it doesn't quite carry the same weight.
And then there was just like the unfortunate fact that when we got to these very serious moments, they didn't spend enough time on the actual scenes because now I'm just watching two people talking past each other and I'm not actually watching a conversation. And when you know what that looks like, it's impossible to not see it.
Yeah.
It wasn't satisfying to watch.
And then when the reveal comes, Charlotte once again has not learnt her lesson and continues to invade this family's privacy.
She takes the key
to the locked room of this child
that they're keeping as a time capsule
and goes and disturbs it just to, like, what, satisfy her curiosity?
To confirm her suspicions?
What are you doing?
And then Brandy just says, we lost him and it's not something we can put in the newsletter. Not, why are you doing this again?
Why are you here?
And all you had to do was have an actual conversation with your friend and she'll let you into the room.
Yes, talk to her.
Boo.
You're right. That would have been so much more moving. Have that difficult conversation.
Yeah.
And then you have the reveal. You can lead in with, why is it that you really didn't want us to leave? Or the angel mentioned something about you not wanting to be alone this time of year. Is there a reason why?
And then Brandy can say, I have something I need to show you.
Yes.
And then in you go.
And you have that reveal.
Lots of missed opportunities. I only have one more shenanigan. So the film's grand romantic gesture is that Charlotte finally agrees to put a down payment on a house, even though she's nervous about it. And she goes to a lending company to secure a mortgage. This is how I know the film aged itself, because they offered her an interest rate of like 6.5, which is incredible. Because of the interest rates, that is an incredible offer. Okay, so people who don't know, the current American federal interest rate, the baseline that the federal government is lending at, is 5.5, which means you cannot get a loan even at 5.5 because the banks would be breaking even.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of people's mortgages right now are 8.5.
Oh.
That's why I was like, they filmed this in like 2021 and could not find an edit, because the last time the mortgage rates were anywhere near 3.1 was before Russia decided to be assholes. So I was not having any of that. No, the numbers are wrong. I was really bothered. And so that's my final shenanigan.
Very unexpected one. A financial shenanigan.
This is what happens when you turn into a grown-up. I don't like it. Do you have any others?
I do. Mine is the freaky monkey. The creepy, freaky monkey. I'm so glad the adults say the monkey freaks them out, because same.
Because it's not a regular monkey toy. It has like a ceramic face.
Yeah.
Throw this thing away. Who gave this to you?
Give me a dog doing the most, please.
Not this, maybe it's animated and moves at night when you're not looking monkey.
Right?
Yeah.
So this would have been another good opportunity if we went all the way in with a magical realism for the monkey to have magical powers. Like the freaking holiday calendar.
The kids should have said, I left Monkey at the dining room table or something else like that. So then we're like, Monkey put himself in the car.
Yeah, but we just needed more, because now it just seemed like he forgot Monkey in the car, because kids don't necessarily remember all the time where they leave their possessions. That's very normal. Anyway, that's all. The monkey.
Hated that monkey. Throw it out. Okay, so I guess that means we're at Funfabville.
Funfabville.
And in the grand scheme of a Funfabville, this was,
What a fun...
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't want to give this a fail because I
No.
did have fun moments. And if I'm totally honest, I'm just here for Brandy to sing me some songs.
And she did.
And she was lovely. So I got what I came for, I guess.
And it was very Christmassy.
But this was terrible.
I had a lot of fun looking at the decorations.
Yes, decorations were
and
good.
There was lots of
The
music,
children shenanigans.
the outfits.
They were serving looks.
the Christmas market. We saw Santa. I can't feel it because it doesn't even feel like it's on a rubric. It's just...
It was a movie.
I'm confused.
This is not one that's necessarily worth a watch. But it is a tight 80, so it's not a waste of time necessarily.
No. I didn't have the feeling of like, well, that's 80 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Right, but it wasn't good.
No. I think I felt like frustrated in the sense of like, I didn't get satisfaction.
Yeah. This film gave everyone blue balls.
Yes.
I have emotional blue balls from this film.
Yes. I had to watch a Michael Bublé Christmas special after it just to like get my Christmas rocks off.
I'm crying.
It's like, I'm all pent up.
Sorry to make it horny, everyone, much like the tree shopping. But that's really what this film was.
Yeah. This is a weird way to start the year, I'm just realizing.
Oops.
This is a weird one.
That's what we get for veering off of the strictly rom-com trajectory, I think.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson. That it can't be done, not even for brandy.
Well, that leads us to... I don't know if I can do this lead-in with a straight face.
I'll do it. Give me the cheese, please.
Give me the cheese, please. Girl.
Not as happy as I usually am.
We know this ain't no cheese.
It's not a cheese. We'll see. Okay.
Okay. You do the countdown.
Okay. 3,
3,
2,
2, 1.
1.
Unidentifiable
Triscuits.
balloon animal. Yours is still edible at least, so I think you should go first.
How is it a balloon animal? I'm so excited to hear about this. I can't even focus on Triscuits anymore. I have to know. Triscuits. I chose a Triscuit.
Okay, tell me why you chose a Triscuit.
I chose a Triscuit because imagine you're going up to a really lovely cheese board and you're very excited to dive in.
Yeah.
There are very important accoutrements
Mm.
needed for the cheese board to be truly
Elite.
correct. So you're looking for something to put that cheese on. And there are many things that are delightful and good. Crackers, and breads, and toasties, and so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I've been given a Triscuit.
Your confusion is so funny how you said that.
I love Triscuits. I think that they're perfectly salty. I think that they crunch. I like the way that the texture is. I just, I'll do it with some pieces of American sharp cheddar, but that's not the best for a brie.
I feel you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like with a Ritz cracker.
Yes.
I'm not going to put a brie on that.
So I feel already I'm a little let down. I'm still here for it, and I'm getting myself excited.
Mm-hmm.
But then imagine when you're actually eating the Triscuit. The experience then becomes ultimately just kind of disappointing, despite
Aw.
loving the components individually.
Mm.
So this for me is a disappointing, not cheese, but stale Triscuit.
Oh, stale Triscuit.
Yeah.
Rough.
A cracker that's already notoriously dry on its own is additionally stale.
Mm. Not a good combination.
Nope, but enough of that. I want to hear about a balloon animal.
Okay, it's an unidentifiable balloon animal.
That's so much worse.
My reasoning is rather similar to yours in that I find balloon animals to be delightful. They require a certain amount of skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I'm going to go out in search of, but it's always fun to see one. It's a bit of whimsy.
I saw a balloon penguin the other day, and it was
Ah,
incredible.
That's amazing.
It was a feat of engineering.
Yeah. And so with this, it's like the promise of something whimsical and delightful. I knew going in we weren't getting a rom-com, but I had hopes for a bit of whimsy, a bit of magic. But the unidentifiable part of it is like now you're just sitting with a bunch of balloons
Right?
that have been wasted
Mm-hmm.
and serve no purpose. So it's just confusing and like why?
So you just tied them all together?
It's like I could see you were trying to do
I
something
feel that.
that might look like it could be the start of a dog, but now I'm just kind of confused and sad. So that's why.
Ugh.
It's okay.
Disappointing. We were lulled in the same way as everyone else. Apparently, when this launched, it was a #1 on Netflix because everyone was so hyped for a Brandy return. Listen,
Yeah.
Brandy, we just want you to be okay, girl. We
We love
love
you.
you. I think you did a lovely job.
Very sincere.
Yeah, but Then when you look at the ratings, it's like a 2.5.
Oh, yikes.
It's just unfortunate.
Eh.
So, I guess there you have it. That was our discussion of best, period, Christmas, period, ever, exclamation point.
Let us know your thoughts on the movie. Any shenanigans we may have missed, or what cheese or not cheese you think it is.
Or balloon animal. You can follow us on Instagram at shenanigansensuepod, or you can email us at shenanigansensuepod@gmail.com.
And we'll be on a bit of a break for now, but we'll be coming back hot in time for Valentine's Day.
And we're not just blowing smoke here like that dollhouse. We truly mean it. It's going to be a delightful way to jump back in.
And we're going to have a guest.
Yes, we're having a guest.
As is typical for our Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the movie.
We hope you have an incredible New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that your holidays were splendiferous.
Nice. We hope you'll join us next time. And until then,
Everyone makes mistakes.
That's why they put erasers at the end of pencils.
Bye.
Bye.
And boy, oh boy, did we ever make a mistake with this choice.
Sorry, we didn't know breaking the rom-com rule would mean that we're breaking our joy rule.
Because we've broken it before. Love, Simon.
The Lovebirds.
Oh, that was the mistake. It didn't have love in the title. Therefore,
when we break the rule, it needs to
have love in the title. Okay, great.
Right.
Scientifically proven.
Very pertinent.
Harvard girl would love that.